Hello and welcome to the weekly Global Heartstream. I'm Gabriel Gonzalez, a professional coach, artist, and speaker who enjoys traveling the world, connecting with amazing people, and talking about the longest, most rewarding journey that you'll ever embark on, the 12-inch journey between your head and your heart. Through individual and group coaching programs, online courses, and live seminars, I teach a heart-centered approach to personal mastery, leadership development, and spiritual growth that helps people become the most loving, joyful, and powerful version of themselves. The Global Heartstream is a weekly dedicated space to help you reconnect with your heart, raise your vibrational frequency, and remind you just how powerful, loving, and amazing you already are. It's also an invitation to unify our hearts with the intention of bringing more love, compassion, and healing to a world that so desperately needs it. You can find out more about my work by visiting GabrielGonzalez.com, where you can also sign up for my weekly newsletter, join the Heart Leader community, and register for my upcoming seminars. And if you enjoy this Heartstream, please be sure to subscribe, like, or comment so that we can reach more people and help make this a more loving, compassionate, and heart-centered world. Hello and welcome to the Global Heartstream. I'm your host, Gabriel Gonzalez, broadcasting live on this beautiful 15th of February, the day after Valentine's Day, or better known as the day of friendship and unconditional love. Hello, PJ. Long time no see. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Ellen. Namaste, baby. Hello, Mariette. And hello, those of you who are joining us and choose to remain anonymous, or those of you who are watching the replay. Today, we continue on this series of conversations we've been having during the month of February around reclaiming your true power, especially and because of Valentine's Day just being just a few hours behind us. We're going to be focusing on this topic of reclaiming the power to love unconditionally. And we're going to break that down a little bit more to have a deeper understanding of what that means. And then obviously next week, we'll continue with the last part of the series, and we'll be talking about the power to heal yourself. But as we move into this topic that has to do with self-love, let me ask you, on a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate your current level of self-love? Where 1 is like self-love, what's that? And 10 is you're probably the most narcissistic person before me. I think you get my point. All right. The idea is 1, I'm not in a place where I'm really loving myself very much. I'm doing a lot of negative self-talking, giving my power to other people. I don't have clear boundaries, putting myself down, comparing myself to everyone, etc., etc., etc. Doing things that go against my own nature, that are even self-destructing, self-sabotage. You get the idea. And 9 and 10 being at a place where you feel like, wow, deeply honoring, loving, accepting, respecting myself, operating from a place of self-compassion, forgiveness, and all of that. And it doesn't matter. Nobody's here to judge you. I think actually right now, if I were to score myself, I would say it's about a 6.7. Yeah, about 6.7. That's just kind of what came up, which is very close to where Cindy's heart is. Cindy's at 7. Hello, Michelina. Welcome back. Hello, Barbara. Michelina says she's at a 2. Somebody is promoting something here. Okay. Barbara says she's at an 8. Barbara, you have the highest love quotient here. Let's see what else. Anybody else? All right. So while you're typing in your answers, and again, the question that I ask is on a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate your current level of self love? And let me move on to the announcements. I want to remind you that if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please be sure to do that right now so that you can receive notifications. And while you're at it, please like this comment. This helps our videos get found by other people within YouTube. I also want to remind you that the Heartstart 2023 guide will still be available for another week. That's right. I'm going to be taking it down at the end of next week. And this is the final opportunity for you to download this free guide and process that's going to help you gain greater clarity with regards to the kind of life, relationships, etc., that you would like to create over the next 12 months. Again, this is available on my website, or you'll find it in the links in the description below this video. Also, for those of you who are feeling nature's call of mating, and specifically mating with your soulmate, which is kind of a bit redundant. It's feel the need of soulmating, rather, I should say. I want to let you know that next Saturday, February 25th, at 12 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, I'm going to be hosting a 3-hour workshop called Heart to Heart, the path to soulmate love. Sorry. It's an invitation to open your heart and overcome the obstacles to attracting true love. Through practical tips and a comprehensive approach, I'm going to be helping you find your ideal partner and experience the blessings of a deeply fulfilling relationship and embark yourself on this journey, rather. Okay, so this is happening next Saturday, September 25th. Details are also on the description below if you'd like to join us. And this is to celebrate also, as I said last week, the publishing on Amazon Kindle of my book, The Path to Soulmate Love. I'm getting my tongue twisted every time I'm saying the name of that book, The Path to Soulmate Love. There we go. Okay, and lastly, for those of you who resonate with this work, who resonate with these teachings, if you ever feel called to take the next step with me, I have 3 programs that are available to you. There is a Heart Mastery course. It's an introductory course for people that just want to learn the foundational principles and practices of heart-centered living. There's an intermediate course, which is really more of a group coaching program. In fact, we've actually renamed the Heart Warrior program. We called it the boot camp. So it's now a boot camp. Yep, like in the military. And then there is the advanced certification training program in heart leadership, which has already began. So unfortunately, enrollment is closed for that program already, but you can still sign up for the basic introductory course or for the boot camp. All right, so let's go on to today's topic, the power to love unconditionally. What does that even mean, Gabrielle? Well, remember, we have been during this entire month exploring this topic of what it means and what it feels like and looks like to reclaim your power. Because here's the thing. The majority of us, when we begin this thing that we call the spiritual journey, which is nothing more than, in essence, the journey towards a greater love or a higher way of being in the world. One of the things that is characterizes the initial stages is that we feel we're disconnected from love. We're separate. In fact, when we're operating from this thing that we call the paradigm of separation, or which I explain here, if you recall I'm going to put it here for those of you who are watching the video. When we are operating from the level of the mind or from the intellect, when we are at stage 1 of these 4 levels of heart mastery, the tendency is to see things from a worldview of separation, where we feel that we are separate or disconnected from love, from abundance, from power itself, from what I would say are the 3 main characteristics of the Godhead: love, wisdom, and power, which is one of the reasons why I love so much the teachings of the Ascended Masters, because they have this beautiful metaphor called the three plume, the threefold flame within the heart, which is yellow, pink, and blue, and also white, of course. But each one of these represents a different aspect of the Godhead. So many of us feel at the very initial stages of our journey that we are separate from our source. We're disconnected from God. This is the essence of the story of the Garden of Eden. Okay, but as we begin the journey and begin to move into the heart, which is the level or the space of connection, one of the things that begins to happen is we begin to realize that there is something called the holy relationship that exists between God and the entire creation, and that you, being created in the image and likeness of the Creator, possess within you also all the qualities of the Creator. All right. And so this is what we're referring to, is the willingness to finally claim this power and be able to say, hey, there's not only this human love that operates within me, but there's also this higher level of love, which is always accessible to me. And in fact, can enhance my own capacity to love myself. So what is it then that I mean from practical terms when I say loving yourself unconditionally or loving unconditionally? Well, to love yourself unconditionally means to fully accept and embrace yourself with your flaws and all, without placing any conditions on your self-love or self-worth. So this is the kind of a thing where you say, well, I'll be happy, when I meet my soulmate. I really love myself when I do this retreat, when I buy this book, when I meditate, when I do this thing. So this thing that you call self-love is conditioned upon something happening or you reaching some kind of a level. It also means accepting yourself for who you are in the present moment, here and now, regardless of your past experiences, mistakes, and shortcomings. So it's about making peace and making love also with where you are. So loving yourself regardless of what happened to you in the past, mistakes that you have made, any guilt, shame that you may be carrying for a very long time, is finding that place where you can love yourself in this moment the way God loves you. This is the essence of what we're really speaking about here when we're speaking about the power to love unconditionally. And in my experience, this involves three practices. It involves practicing self-acceptance, self-compassion, and self-forgiveness. It means treating yourself with the same kindness, understanding, and care that you would give somebody to someone that you deeply love. One of the exercises I give in my book, The Path to Soulmate Love, by the way, that I was just doing a little bit of a commercial a few moments ago, is an exercise in writing a love letter to yourself in the same way or with the same level of intensity and passion that you would write it to someone that you're madly in love with. And at the very beginning, this is very hard for a lot of people. Why? Because the majority of us know more what it feels like to love somebody, to feel passionate towards somebody outside of ourselves, but not really towards ourselves. So doing that exercise can create a huge shift. Just writing a love letter to yourself. In fact, it's one of the things that the Heartstart, if you participated in this or last year Heartstarts, it's also one of the exercises in there. It's to write yourself a love letter at the end of it. So it involves, as I said, first, self-acceptance, deeply accepting your human condition, deeply accepting your light, your darkness, deeply accepting every aspect of you. Feeling self-compassion. Self-compassion is the capacity to be with your own pain, with your own suffering, regardless of what that may be. Yesterday, for example, I experienced during the entire day an overwhelming sense of sadness, just a heaviness all around that I still don't know what brought it about, what triggered it, but all I know is that I had I sat with it the majority of the day. And normally on Tuesday evenings I have a group guitar class that I'm part of, and I was sharing, my sentiments with the group, and the majority of them in the group were saying, "Well, Gabriel, we were also feeling something different. We can feel it. We can feel your sadness, and really glad that you could be here with us." And so that's the essence of what compassion is. Compassion is, as the word says, with pain, with suffering. It's the capacity to be with our own suffering, deeply accepted. In fact, you're going to notice that part of the part of the work that you will be called to do is to, as you feel it, to release it, because that is the mechanism. More often than not, the majority of these intense emotions that we feel and come out of nowhere are, more than anything, probably some old emotions that are coming up for healing at any given time, triggered again by circumstances of the day or situations during the day. And then finally, loving yourself also means setting healthy boundaries and taking care of yourself physically, emotionally, mentally, and I would even say spiritually, even though I did not type it in here. Because you are all those four things. And those are just four dimensions of many more dimensions that you occupy at any given time. It involves recognizing and respecting your needs, acknowledging them, your own values, your own set of priorities, and making choices that honor and support those priorities, those choices that you're making. In other words, is prioritizing your well-being, physical, mental, emotionally, above anything else. It's one of the reasons why I like to end this broadcast every week with take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. That is the key. That is the essence of what I'm trying to do here week after week, or inviting you to do, rather. And then finally, keep in mind that this thing that we call self-love, it's really more of a journey. It's not a destination. This is kind of why it's nice to check in with yourself and say, okay, what's my current level of self-love at this moment? And realize that one day you may be at a 10 because you did a lot of things that were nurturing, that were accepting, that were compassionate, that were kind. But then one day you may realize like you are at a 3 because something happened. Someone or something triggered you, or you realize something that that you were not aware of, and you brought up a tremendous amount of sadness or whatever. And you may then that day choose to binge on food or pornography or sex or social media or whatever those mechanisms that we have, and we all have them, that we turn to in order to escape from pain and suffering and emotional discomfort. And so that day you say, okay, I was operating at a 3, but then guess what? Tomorrow it's a new day, like they say in South Africa. Morgen nog 'n dag. I'm having some South African rooibos here right now. And so you decide then the next day, okay, I'm going to pick up where I left. Excuse me. And I'm going to go back to my self-care practices. I'm going to go back to my meditation, my yoga, my diet, whatever it is that you do to take care and nurture yourself. Okay. And so notice that what we're really talking about here is reclaiming the power of the heart, because it's in the heart at the end of the day, that organ that symbolizes love. This entire city of Granada during this days of Valentine's, it's decorated like I've never seen any other city. I mean, they put hearts everywhere on the streets, just like in Christmas they do Christmas decoration. Just for Valentine's, just for one day, right? The week before, there's hearts everywhere in the city, symbolizing obviously what we aspire to either give or receive on this day. So Again, notice that what we're really speaking about here is that the movement is towards love, which is what spirituality ultimately is. Spirituality is the journey towards love. Why? Well, let me remind you once again by bringing back Dr. David Hawkins' calibrated map of consciousness. The majority of us at any given time are operating from all these lower level emotions, right? Guilt, apathy, shame, fear, desire, anger, pride, etc. And what we're aspiring to do is to move, right, the lever or the thermostat up so that we can move through this line of integrity or courage, which is also a quality attributed to the heart, which is the willingness to finally tell the truth, to be real, to admit. And then from that space, begin to ascend into neutrality, willingness, acceptance, reason, and love. And then eventually, if you continue on this path, to the higher spheres of joy and peace that feel a lot like love, but take you into a place of bliss and ecstasy. So, this is really what we're speaking about. Now, I want to share with you something that it took me a long time to figure it out. And this is perfectly illustrated by what the Ascended Master School calls your triune nature. Okay. And again, for those of you who may be new to this work, this refers to three aspects of your being that are always within you and available to you. At the lowest level, we have what you could call your human identity or your limited self. This is your personality, your ego. This is the space of level one that we've been speaking about earlier, which is you, is the personality. It's the product of what happened to you, everything that you think or believe you are, or you have been led to believe that you are. And then obviously at the highest sphere, then we have this omnipresent higher aspect of ourselves that we call the I am presence, is a part of you that is pure God. And then in the middle, there is this other entity, aspect of yourself, or dimension of yourself, rather, that they refer to as the Christ self, or the Buddha self, or the Atman presence, your higher self. I don't care what you call it. What I care and invite you to is to summon it. Why? Because this is a part of you that unifies you with the Creator, that is the Creator. And this is what we appeal to over and over again in each one of these guided meditations and prayer. And whenever you hear me say, in the name of the I am presence and the Holy Christ self of everyone here today, what I'm in essence visualizing and calling forth is I'm summoning the part of you that is God. And I'm summoning the part of you that is your highest potential, your higher self, which is your Christ self. This is the same part of Jesus, the Christ, that he accessed and taught his disciples also how to access. All right. And like he said and taught, it's available to anyone. Right. So this is what he meant when he said, only by me can you get through the Father. This is what he was basically saying. If you want to arrive at the totality of this oneness, which is your I am presence, you need to do it through this higher self, which is your own Christ self, Buddha self, divine essence. I don't care what you call it, just call it, summon it forward. Why is this important on a conversation about love? Well, because this is the part of you that, because it's always unified with the unconditional love of God, that allows you then to channel, to draw that higher level of love into this human identity. What does this actually mean? Well, it means that you, as a human being, and I'm putting myself here in the package, we cannot love unconditionally from this human limited self. Why? Because human love, by its own definition, and in a dimension of duality, it's it's conditional by nature. It's conditional by nature. And so it's very limited, it's very flawed, it's imperfect, and it's meant to be like that. What I'm trying to say, in essence, Margaret, hello from the South Coast, and Isabel and Barbara and Michelina and Ellen and PJ and Cindy and Marietta, what I'm trying to say, in essence, is that you cannot love in yourself fully, wholly, and unconditionally those aspects that are most darkest, unlovable, undesirable, unless you appeal to a higher level of love that can help you love in yourself that which you up until now have been unable to do. In other words, for me to love that aspect of myself, for example, um, many of you know that I struggled for many years with an addiction to pornography and also sex and promiscuity. And that brought up a tremendous amount of shame after a while. And I realized that within me there was this darkness, there was this place where there was this shame. And I realized that as much as I try to say I love that aspect of myself, a part of me would say, like, why would I love that aspect of myself? I can't love myself when I'm doing those things. I do them because it's an addiction, it's a compulsion. I cannot stop myself from doing it. And then I feel really bad afterwards. And so what I needed to do then at that moment, what began to help me heal, was inviting a higher level of love that could help me heal those aspects of myself that I rejected, that helped me embrace my own void, my own guilt, my own shame, my own sense of unworthiness. And so when this higher level of love began to enter into my awareness, into my consciousness, and began to help me love in myself what up until that moment I had not been able to really love and embrace, at that moment, that's when then healing, true healing, began to take place. So the St. Francis prayer, the prayer of peace, it's also known as the prayer of peace, oftentimes says that we ask God to become a channel for his love. What we're in essence saying is, God, grant me the peace that I just don't have. Grant me the love that, or the courage to love my neighbor. Grant me the power, the strength to forgive this person, because my human self still hurting, still blaming, still wants revenge, and I just can't find that space of unconditional love and acceptance within me. So the invitation then is to go into that space, to appeal to that higher awareness or the higher consciousness that is not only in relationship always with love, but it's also one with love. This is why you can then say that Christ is equal to love, and that if from this point forward and during every guided meditation, if you're put off by the word Christ, just replace it with love. Or if you're put up by the word love, just replace it with Christ or Buddha or Atmans or divine love. I don't care, again, because what we're looking for is just activating it, summoning it forth. Okay. And so when we go into our guided meditation today, what we're going to do is we're going to speak these affirmations that are helping us anchor this new awareness of higher level of love. But we're going to do it from a place of feeling, experiencing, and being love. That's what we're really trying to do. Why? Because, as one of these affirmations here says, you can't give something that you don't already have. So many of you are wondering, okay, how can I not only claim my power to love myself, but to also love others? You'll realize that ultimately, all kinds of love is self-love. Why? Ultimately, because from a higher perspective, there's only one of us here. So I'd like to invite you to place a hand over the middle of your chest, right where your heart is. And please repeat the following affirmations after me. We're going to be coming back to these affirmations again during the guided meditations. And in case you're new to my work, I like to do them twice. First, at the very beginning, just to create the awareness. And then the second time in the meditation, once we've activated the feeling of unconditional love. Let's begin. I deeply and completely love and accept myself just as I am. I embrace both my light and darkness as integral parts of me. I am enough. I do enough. I have enough. That's enough for me. I believe in myself and in my capacity to manifest my highest potential. I treat myself with love, kindness, and respect all the time. The more I love myself, the easier it is to love and accept others. The more I forgive myself, the easier it is to forgive others. Begin now by closing the eyes if you haven't already done so, allowing these words to trickle in. I often like to say that the first time that we read the affirmations, they are for the conscious mind. But the second time, once we activate the sense of heart coherence or heart brain coherence, now they're ready for the unconscious mind to be received. Take a moment to feel the presence of your heart in the middle of your chest, noticing the heartbeat and noticing also the breath, the holy breath that powers your heartbeat. The holy breath, where God is. The journey to self love, love of the self, requires us to give ourselves, to gift ourselves self acceptance, self compassion, self forgiveness. The journey also requires us we begin to see ourselves no longer as separate from the source of love, which is God. But to remember that we're always unified with God, in Christ, in love, for God is love. We begin now to breathe straight into the heart, breathing slowly, deeply, and nice and even, in and out of the heart. As we breathe in and out, we accept thoughts that arise, physical sensations, or any feelings, deeply welcoming and accepting all that arises. Knowing that in every heartbeat, God is. Knowing that in each breath, God is, love is, compassion is, acceptance is, forgiveness is. With each breath, I give myself permission to relax more and more into this present moment, letting go of any unnecessary tension around the head, the neck, and the shoulders. Letting go of any tension around the pelvic area, the hips, feeling not only my physical body, my mental body, my emotional body, but also this energetic spiritual body. With the awareness that we're living, breathing, and having our being in this field generated by the heart. And that the heart is just simply a generator, a converter of the life source energy that emanates straight from the heart of God. And that this allows you to claim in here and now, I am the life of God in me. I am the life of God in my breath, in my heartbeat. Feel it. As we breathe in and out, we take a moment to feel gratitude and appreciation for all that it took for us to be here today, for all that makes this connection possible. Feel gratitude for yourself for how far you have come along your life journey and your healing journey. The journey that ultimately brought you here. Feel gratitude. Feel this feeling of appreciation. Appreciation always opens the door of the heart. Appreciation opens the door to a greater love that wants to reveal itself within us. Welcome it. Invite it in. Don't force it, just simply let it happen. For love is in essence the deepest acceptance. Love is in essence the energy that nurtures, powers, and cares for all of life, because it's the energy of life itself. And as you continue to breathe in and out and feel the love begin to reveal itself from within you, allow me to speak the following words of prayer on your behalf. In the name of the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. In the name of the Divine Mother of us all. In the name of the divine archangels of heaven and the entire spirit of the great white brotherhood, our spiritual teachers and guides. And speaking on behalf of everyone here, I connect and unify my heart to the infinitely loving heart of God, knowing that where God is, love is. Where love is, God is. Where I am, God's love is. And that I am one right here and right now with the heart of God. The heart of God beating in me, the breath of God breathing me. I allow this breathing life, this beating heart of God to hold me, to support me. I allow the presence of divine love now to enter through me. Holy Christ flame, thou balance of thy soul, let thy blessed radiance descend now into the heart of each one of us. Let thy flame grow and blaze within us. Let thy purest love heal our hearts, uplift us, and raise us to a higher level of love. That we may love within ourselves all of that which up until now we have rejected and have projected unto others. That we may reclaim the fullness of who we really are and realize that God made no mistakes when he or she created us. For God makes no mistakes. God made no mistakes when it made me human. God made no mistakes when it created a world of duality. God made no mistakes when it created separation, because we could only experience union by experiencing its opposite. And yet I am realizing more and more each day that beyond the world of duality, there's a dimension, which is my own Holy Christ self, where I am always in relationship and in perfect union with God. Just like I am in perfect union with the Mother Earth, and in me right here, right now, the fire, the earth, the waters, and the winds of Mother Earth live in me. The love of God, the power of God, the wisdom of God also lives in me. I claim this oneness. And with this oneness, I also claim my power to love unconditionally the way God loves. To love myself the way God loves me. To see myself the way God sees me. I welcome this love. I accept this love. I let this new awareness sink in. I allow love to heal my heart. I allow love to help me accept in myself everything and every aspect of me. I let the light of God shine even in my darkest secrets, those things I'm scared to look at or afraid for others to see. I allow the light of God, of compassion and forgiveness, to enter in me. That this compassion and forgiveness offer a softening to all those areas within me where I have been hard on myself. Allowing forgiveness to forgive in me the past and what others did to me. Allowing forgiveness to forgive in me all self-judgment, all justifications, and anything and everything else that is keeping me from experiencing my oneness with the unconditional love of God. In the name Jesus the Christ, the presence of divine love in me, I now declare, please repeat after me. I deeply and completely love and accept myself just as I am. I embrace both my light and darkness as integral parts of me. I am enough, I do enough, I have enough. That's enough for me. I believe in myself and in my capacity to manifest my highest potential. I treat myself with love, kindness, and respect all the time. The more I love myself, the easier it is to love and accept others. The more I forgive myself, the easier it is to forgive others. I am the life of God in me. I am the love of God in me. Feel it. Declare it. Know it. Remember it. Allow now this radiance of unconditional love from your heart now to go out to every person in this virtual circle of love. Let it flow out to Estelle, to Native Cheek, to Leonardo, out in Mexico, out to Lila, to Margaret, to Isabel, to Barbara, to Ellen, Michelina, to Cindy, to PJ, to Mariette, and to every person who's watching the replay. Let it flow. Now feel and visualize that our hearts are all now expanding together, creating a larger field of unconditional love, and let it flow out to the world. Let it flow out to your friends and to your family. Let it flow out to your coworkers, your clients, your students, people that are a part of your circle. Let it flow out to places and countries where people are experiencing suffering, distress, fear, oppression. Let the power of unconditional love go out. That love may do what love does. Love heals, love comforts, love forgives. Love reduces the suffering. Love is. Take a moment now to give thanks for the opportunity to be of service to yourself and humanity and help elevate this entire planet's frequency through the collective power of our hearts. Feeling appreciation for yourself, your willingness to be here week after week, to offer your heart in service. And now take a moment to ask yourself the following question. If I loved and accept myself 5% more today, what would I do differently? If I loved and accepted myself just 5% more today, what would I start doing differently? Gently we initiate now the full return to our physical awareness of the space that surrounds us. Preparing to open our eyes. Taking in again all the space around us. And then just checking in with yourself, asking yourself, how am I feeling right now? What new insight, what new realization or awareness am I taking away from today's guided meditation and conversation around reclaiming the power to love unconditional myself and others? What am I taking away? And if you feel like it, I'd love it if you could share it in the section below, in the comment section below. All right, my beautiful friends, that's it for today. I hope you're walking with a greater awareness of what unconditional love, acceptance, self-compassion, self-forgiveness feels like in the body. When we come back next week, we'll be wrapping up a whole month of conversations around this topic of reclaiming your true power. And we're going to be focusing on healing. So the topic will be the power to heal yourself. As always, I want to remind you that donations are welcome. If you find that my guided meditations, weekly heart streams, and free offerings are useful and you would like to express your appreciation, you can make a dedicated donation at my website by visiting gabrielgonzalez.com/donate. A percentage of the proceeds goes to a South African-based organization that is helping to bring healing to children who have been sexually abused. Let's see where some of the comments that came. Amanda says, thank you, Gabriel. Love to everyone. Thank you, Amanda. Love back to you. Maria says, I feel love. I do have love no matter what. Yes. Mara says, thank you. You're welcome. Amanda says she's feeling more connected. Michalina says, which actually screams. You know that, Michalina, that when you put everything in caps, it's a scream. I can love myself more than what? More than yesterday. Thank you so much, Gab, says Leela. I really needed this powerful guided meditation today. Chrissy, welcome. She says, thank you. Isabel says, my heart feels light and loving. Thank you. Ellen Namaste Baby says, I would love to give over to a good cry. And a deep sleep. Yeah. that it's actually very good medicine for the heart. Isabel says, much love from my heart to you all. And then Barbara says, thank you. Feeling so much power, so much love for myself. It is not selfish to love myself so much. No, I don't think so. Not if you're coming from this, this space of, call it spiritual love, or the energy that loves and cares for, for all of life. It's a different kind of energy. Marilyn Leary says, thank you, Gabs. Loving and appreciating myself more. The more I love myself, the more I have to give. Yeah, the more you love yourself, the easier it becomes to love others. The more you forgive yourself, the easier it becomes to forgive others. The more you accept yourself, the easier it is to accept others. It's what Ayn Rand meant when she said, we see the world as we are. And so that's the essence of what the Golden Rule is all about. All right, my beautiful friends, thank you once again for lending me your hearts and your ears, and for your willingness to hang out with me every Wednesday at this time. Together, we're creating a meaningful impact in our own lives and in the lives of many people that we'll never, ever get to meet. Wherever you are in the world, I send you a big hug and a big kiss, my appreciation, and a reminder to love yourself and to take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. From my heart to yours. Bye-bye for now. Thank you for joining me in this week's Heartstream. I hope you're walking away feeling more connected to yourself and your divinity, to the planet, to others, and to all of life. Please be sure to subscribe so that you can receive notifications about upcoming broadcasts. And if you would like to sign up for my weekly newsletter, join the Heart Leader community, or register for my upcoming trainings and seminars, be sure to visit my website, gabrielgonzalez.com. Until the next time, please take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. And as always, I send you all my love from my heart to yours. Bye for now.